2025, and I wanted to chat about the concept of New Year's resolutions and goal settings and all of that. So for many years, many years, I used to do the whole goal setting and write down the goals and picture them in your mind. You know, if they're not written down, they're not going to happen, you know, all of that. I did it for many years and it does work. So if that's something that you do, that's great. What I found in the last few years is that it didn't really work for me. You know, there is the concept of setting short-term goals and setting long-term goals, or, you know, setting goals that you can achieve in a month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year, 5 years, 10 years, which is great. And I think you should still have those things that you want to achieve. The old way of setting goals can, if you don't achieve something, it can actually make you feel less than, that you've failed in some way. And yet, if you've set a goal to achieve something and you don't get there, you may have got further than you would have before, but the fact that you didn't get the goal that you wrote down, or you didn't achieve that goal, can sometimes leave you feeling less or like you've actually failed. What I started doing was finding something that works for me. So if I can encourage you to find something that really works for you. So I've just been thinking about it, and while I'm sitting here in my little garden, I don't know if you can see at the back, but there's some horses in their paddocks in the property next door. But anywho, so what I started doing, and I actually started about 2 years ago, instead of setting goals and doing the New Year's resolutions and all of that, which inevitably you end up by February, if you've lasted that long, and your New Year's resolutions are out the window. So I started doing something where I would set intentions for the year, and intentions, or choose a word that kind of is your intention for the year, instead of writing down the goals or having 5 goals, 10 goals, and what are the most important, and do the 3 most important ones. I decided to pick a word or 2 words that kind of fit in with my intention for that year. You could pick a word like more connection, so in other words, connecting more with friends and family. Be more intentional about life, just so if your word is intention. And the other thing that I did 2 years ago, at the beginning of 2023, I wrote myself a letter. It actually ended up being 4 pages. And in that letter, I went through a description of, not really a description, but I kind of wrote down things that you almost write the letters if you intend to read it a couple of years later or at the end of the year. You can write yourself a letter at the beginning of the year, almost congratulating yourself on the things that you've achieved. I won't give you the full letter, but kind of like, hey Shelley, I just want to let you know that I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. I want to let you know that I love you. And the things that I felt that were attainable or achievable in a year. And it wasn't so much goals in terms of I did this, I achieved this, I won this, you know, that kind of thing, or financially I got to this, all of that kind of thing. But I had a general, I've been so proud of you and how you've conducted yourself with your clients, how you've conducted yourself with your friends and family, how you've grown those relationships. So it was that kind of letter, a little bit more about how I was proud of myself for growing as a person. I'll give you some tips on how you can write yourself a letter. The other thing that I decided to do, we forget that, I get that writing things, it does trigger something in your brain, which is why I wanted to change from just writing down goals and writing a personal, loving letter to myself. The other thing, we are visual people. We're visual creatures. So what works for me is a vision board. I used to do grab a whole pile of magazines, page to the magazines, cut out clippings that kind of meant something. Then what I did, because often that's got to be stuck up somewhere, and I'm not mad about clutter. So what I did, I actually designed my own sort of vision board, and my friend also came up with this idea, and she put it as her screensaver. So on my phone, you can see there, I've actually got my vision board here. So what I did, so that I could actually see it every day, I've put it on my phone's lock screen. I don't know if you can see that. So I've looked some beautiful pictures in Pinterest, and I've got some words that really spoke to me. So on the one corner, I've got the word creativity, and I had recently moved into a new home, and I really wanted to decorate it the way that I felt kind of was more of a reflection of me. So it's got creativity and a really look and feel that I like. There's a picture of a purse with some money in it. I have my office set up at home, so there's a lovely picture of a beautiful office with some pot plants. I've got I don't know if you can see there, but there's, oh dear, so there's some pictures of some like a whole lot of hands. So it's love, the word there is love. I've got the word success, which is on the picture of an office. I've got, so another thing that I really wanted to do more of intentionally was travel. So I have a picture of, it probably is Germany, but there's a pretzel with adventure. There's a picture of a view out of an aeroplane. There's a picture of a woman doing yoga. The word is strength. There's a beautiful picture of some fresh food and healthy foods called health. So that's actually, and I love it. So every time I unlock my phone, that's what I see. That's more of a visual representation. So I want to tell you a story that happened to me. Also on my little vision board is a new car. So I did have a car that I was able to hitch up the horse trailer and tow the horses, which was absolutely no problem, but it was very old and obviously started giving some issues. Anyway, long story cut short. So at our family around Christmas time, we always had it at my brother and my sister-in-law's house. And what we do for the whole family, instead of everybody wondering what on earth to buy for Christmas, we have little envelopes that get stuck up on the wall behind the Christmas tree with each person's name. And then you can write your Christmas list, obviously on little slips of paper, and you can put it in the envelope. And then it's easy. People go and have a look in the envelope, pick out a couple of things that they think that they'd like to buy, and then it makes your Christmas shopping easier. And we try and do things that are relatively cheap, from things that are a little bit more specific to the more expensive. So if your budget is really small, you can pick whatever suits your budget. So it's really great. So that's a great tip for you and your family for next Christmas, if everybody gets so stressed about Christmas shopping. Okay. So for Christmas 2024, I just did not have time to put my list in my Christmas envelope. And I spoke to my sister-in-law. We ride together, so I kind of see her almost daily. And I spoke to her and I said, I haven't done my Christmas list and I haven't put the things in the envelope. And she said, not a problem. She hadn't done hers either. Let's do it together. So we're sitting and I'm busy writing, and she said to me, oh, by the way, I've actually got your envelope from last year. So I've got the envelope from 2023 Christmas. Do you want to see if there's still some slips in there for your Christmas list, and maybe you can, recycle them? Which I had a look. And I had a look and it was great. And there was a couple of things it would be things that I would use anyway. And lo and behold, in there on a slip, I had written a particular car that I wanted. I don't remember doing this, and it must have been as a joke, and I put it in my Christmas list. I forgot about it. I pulled this piece of paper out, and it's the exact car that I literally bought in October 2024. So while it took 10 months, it didn't come through Santa Claus, it did eventually arrive. How amazing is that? Sometimes these little things that you put out there, it wasn't ever written down as a goal or a specific thing that I wanted, a specific time that I wanted to achieve it, but I'd kind of put it out there. So I really do believe that was really a gift and a blessing. So I just thought that was quite an amazing story. When it comes to your goals and what you want to achieve for this year, just find what works for you. And don't be so hard on yourself. We do need to have things that we are aiming for, but I think sometimes that whole concept of goals can put more pressure on you in life and a world that is already so pressurized and so full of stress. Why do we need to add more to ourselves? So that's just some words of wisdom from my garden. I will introduce you to my fur kids, my horses, a bit later when I get to the yard, and tell you a little bit more about them, and looking forward to this journey of 2025, and good luck. So this is our little yard. We have room for 7 horses here, but at the moment we've just got 4. So this is Debbie's horse Best, or Be the Best. This is Oliver, or Oliver's Mount, also Debbie's horse. So this is our little yard. This is Nova, or as Ed, hi Ed, or as Ed likes to call him, the champion. Nova is a 17-year-old thoroughbred. I have had him for about 10 years, and he is my event horse. I do eventing, so that's eventing, show jumping and dressage with him, and he is an absolute gentleman. This is Rain. Yes, so Rain is 15, and I think I've had her for 9 years. She is currently in Cammie's stable, but she's a sweetheart. I'll tell you a little bit more about her. And then we have 2 other stables here. And I thought I'd share some snippets of that letter to myself that might help you write your own. So this is how it starts. To my dearest, most precious person, me. I want you to know how proud I am of you. It carries on to say, I believe in you and your abilities. I believe in your strength, courage, and absolute resilience. You are going to have to prioritize what is vitally important for your future, and may have to sacrifice some things in order to get where you need to be. I go a little bit into specifics on some changes I want for my work life and financial stuff, and also important there to add why these changes. The why is because I want to travel more, spend time with family and friends living around the world in the UK and the USA. It's one thing to have these goals, but why do I want to earn more? It's not just for money's sake. It's because it will allow me the opportunity to visit loved ones. You have to make a reason why you want to achieve certain things, an emotional reason. It'll pull you more towards the end goal instead of you constantly trying to push. Here are some key phrases to speak over yourself or to put in your letter. You are capable of many great things. Get out of this comfort zone and activate your mind. Feel excitement for life once again. Get out of the grey and step into the kaleidoscope of color that is waiting for you. It's never too late. You're never too old. You deserve so much more than what you've settled for. You deserve everything of the best, not second best. That's not what you're here for. Break open the box. Push wide open the lid and let the greatness out. There is so much more inside of you that doesn't get a chance to come out and shine. Stop hiding your beautiful light under a bush. Let it out. The world deserves to experience it. I hope that helps.